second matchup of today. Already one team out, 11 team remaining. When we finish this series here, it's gonna be down to 10. I am Veiled. Joining me here is Char. How are you doing here tonight, Char?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, not too bad. Excited to get into this prospect action. We have Umagis versus Crusaders. As you can see on your screen, Crusaders just beat Swift 4-3 in an absolute banger of a matchup there. They'll be looking to carry some of that momentum, but Umagis, the team at the very start of the season that was power ranked first in the Ignis conference, so gonna be a very tough match for them. Umagis maybe didn't live up to the expectations everyone had of them, but you'd like to think that they're probably the favorites here. At least in my eyes, they're the favorites here, but it's definitely doable for this Crusaders roster, a roster that I believe started the season quite poorly, Veiled, but then made a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, I was also keeping a bit of an eye on the last series, and I wouldn't really sleep that much on Crusaders. I think they have a very low floor, but I also think they have a high ceiling. And if they can find their moment in this series, they already got the worst part over and done with. They had the first playoffs series of tonight, or of this season even. It was not the cleanest, I will say, but they got it over the line. And maybe that's just what they need to push them towards playing against the team that was power ranked first. And having played this Berserkers team, it is a good team, but they definitely have weaknesses and they definitely can be beaten. And I think Crusaders, they do have the individual skill to get it done, but whether they can actually do it when it comes to the moment, that's a whole different question. But you have the stats on the screen right now. And one thing that completely stands out to me here, Char, is 77 saves on Ibn Dinoha on its own.
That is, I didn't clock that until you said it. He's doing everything on the defense here for this Berserkers roster. That is one of the more ridiculous tallies I've seen. 39 games, 77 saves. Yeah, that's a lot, but you see, Rust is kind of that looking like that star player there, just one goal under, 1 goals per game here for Crusaders, so it should be a very good series. I think we've got all the players in the lobby, so we won't keep them waiting too much longer. Just before we head off, prediction, Veiled?
Putting me on the spot here. I'm gonna go for free Crusaders. I think they're gonna get it over the line.
I'm going to go the opposite way to you. I'm going to go 4-2 to Berserkers.
Alright, I think we're ready to get into the hype chamber then. And get the players situated just in a second. I'm just gonna give a production a second to get everything set up here. But some exciting matchups here tonight. And I believe after this we have, is it Fenrir they're called?
Yeah.
I believe it is. Fenrir versus Devotion, if I'm mistaken,
Yes.
I believe. So that's also a very hype matchup. And the loser of that will go on to face the winner of this in the lower bracket. Of course, the winner will go on to face first of Ignis Conference. I can't remember. There's so many things to keep mind of. But
I think it's first of Glacies that the winner that goes to face.
yeah, some exciting matchups. Looks like we're having a bit of difficulties getting the players on the pitch.
No, we're all good. We're all good. We're all in.
Wait, is everyone? Oh yeah, it is. It's just the bug is happening
Yeah.
on our side, but we are in the matchup here. It's a strong kickoff from Berserkers here. Master FB looking to take advantage of it, but can't quite do too much. VT pushing up, will get denied though in the end. And here we had Rust trying to push up FB here, looking to pass it off to a teammate, but he fakes out two actually in the process. But it looks like it will just be that offense died. Now Cheese on the counter, low boost, but gets a great 50. Rust can't quite intervene here, has to track back. Noah gets it forward, but cannot follow it. Rust, poor touch here. Control for Fidi in the corner. You do not want that, and you are very lucky to walk away from that one without conceding a goal.
Yeah, Fidi almost finding that double tap there, but couldn't get it, and it's still 0-0 here. 45 seconds played. That one will go into the hands of Julicy. Master making the challenge there. Noah trying to get it over to Master. Back into Noah to the backboard. Rust is there, gets a touch on it, but Fidi trying to keep that pressure on. Cheese will cut it out, and now a counter chance. Julicy to the backboard, side flip. Rust has the shot, but Master FB manages to come out with the save at the last second and keep this at a tied scoreline.
Yeah, that's one of the things I noticed in the last series as well. really great chances that they're creating sometimes. But it's just the finishing, it just lacks that little bit of spark, you know. It's still a good shot, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to criticize the shot, but had he put it slightly higher, there's no way that is saved. There's just no way. And if they can find that little bit of magic, there's no team, not even Berserkers here, that can defend against that. Not even Ibindi Noah with 77 saves is going to be able to keep that out. But that is the thing that differentiates teams in this tier. You know, you have a team like Berserkers, they have been looking very strong defensively, but offensively they're just not really creating those chances that you're seeing the side of Crusaders here creating. They are of course getting goals somehow, and you still need to get goals to win games, but it doesn't really look like they have the same quality as Crusaders.
One thing I have seen from this Umagus roster throughout the season, playing them both in league play and in scrims, there's two things that I want to highlight. One of them is when Master FB is on it, he is one of, if not the best players in the entire tier. A little bit inconsistent and isn't always playing his best, but when he is so good for this prospect tier. And a second thing for this Umagus roster, their passing plays are some of the best I've seen in this tier. When they try to find each other so much, and it connects a lot of the time, they're really good at it. You see an example there of an attempt maybe, but they might have overextended here. Russ just doesn't make contact on the middle, and that's another thing, like you mentioned earlier, Vale. They're making those chances, they have those opportunities, but they just can't get that finishing touch.
Yeah, it's exactly that, and it's really sad to see, but still an even game here though. We get for it, and I will also say, Fidi had that big chance on the other side, so it's not like it's just one team cannot quite finish it in the end. But it's first game. It's first game of this series. There's still a long way to go. We might see teams completely turning upside down and go from a bad performance to a good performance, and that's what we're waiting to see here, as a bit of pressure on the Umagi's end. They deal with it this time though, a bit of a bang. Gets the ball back, but immediately gives it back to Rust, looking to chase it up the wall. Cannot quite get the 50 he wanted, so Cheese will have to follow this one up. And a strong touch from Fidi there. Duality is up for it, but just gives it straight back to Fidi. Off the back, but here is Rust. That is a bad clear. FB looking to take his chance, but really just gave it back. Rust is not going to be beating through that ball. Duality, a great touch here. Can he find the follow-up? Only gets the 50. FB to the corner. Doesn't really look like it'll lead to much unless that pass is good. Noah cannot find the double. Fidi with the shot, and it's set the crossbar completely reverberating for now.
Yeah, both of these teams not able to make the most of their opportunities. It really feels like at least one goal should have gone in this game one so far, but we're still at a 0-0 scoreline. No one has been able to penetrate the net quite yet. 20 seconds left for one of these teams to do it in regulation. FB trying to take it off the wall, gets it past one, does really well, but can't get it past the second. Now Duality into the middle, Fidi has to get there. That's an awkward touch, but Ross just can't get there in time. That's a miss now. Cheese has to win that race and beats Noah out to it, taking away the open net. One last chance here in regulation for Umagus. It won't happen. It'll hit the floor. Game number one, we have overtime.
Yep, it might be one of those games where you sit here and say, 0-0, this has been a bit of a boring affair, but I would say it's quite the opposite. There's been many chances, just no one able to capitalize on it quite yet. This time, it's Rust beating out 2 on that 50. FB racing out to try and get that one. Tries to find Fidi upfield with the pass as well. Cannot quite do it. Jeez. Great pinch off the corner there, but that is a bit of a blunder. Rust has to hit it off his own backboard just to keep it away from an opportunity. Noah has time to think about what to do with this. Duality deals with that bang onto the backboard. Cannot quite do much here. Gets the bump though. Gives Cheese just a bit of time to chase that one down. Doesn't give him anything in the end though. Now Noah looking to force this one into the open. Rust not having any of it. Takes the 50 as well. FB gets a great 50 there, but cannot quite follow it up. Cheese takes it to the left side. Noah puts it in front of the center. Rust not a lot to do with this one, but gets it over 1, gets it over 2. FB low boost here, 50. It's just not enough from the side of Rust to get it over the line this time.
Noah taking this one forward. That's into the middle. No one from Umagis there to make the most of that chance. Cheese now a little bit awkward in the corner, does well if it gets it over, but Fiti will keep that pressure onto the backboard. Ross doesn't make connection. Master FB can't get the shot on that. That's to the backboard, and no one from Umagis is there. I'm not sure if he was going for the pass or the shot there, but no one was able to get the rebound on it. To go from Umagis. FB gets the beat. Now going for the double off the corner. Doesn't get the connection on it though. Cheese sending this one forward. Noah opts to just take time. AD boost. Can't get it much on that though, and Russ will just cut it out. This is a bit awkward. FB gets one touch. Double commit here from Crusaders. Noah will send it down, but Rust is there. Fiti doesn't make connection. FB coming in. Double commits galore from both of these sides, but still no goals.
Oh, this might be it though. Dealt with by FB. Noah has to lunge in. Gets a suboptimal touch. Has to concede possession again. Cheese onto the backboard here. But it's a bit too much. He overcooked it. Duality does get the beat. Makes Fiti awkward here in the corner. Gets a great 50. Will run away with the boost as well. But this is causing a bit of confusion here. That double commit there. Turning back in the corner there. It's not really what your teammates want. Cheese on the backboard here. He's going to deal with this. He's going to try and chase this one down. But it's centered by Fiti. Noah gets it in front of goal. And Fiti to put it in at the end. And
took us almost 8 minutes of gameplay here, but we finally get our first goal in this series, and it is Umagis who will be taking this game number 1 out of the hands of Crusaders. Both teams had the chances. You'd say at least in regulation, Crusaders probably had a little bit of the better of the play, but it was overall a very evenly matched game, and Umagis are the ones who come out on top.
yeah, and after that game, after that overtime, everything, I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed, but it was a bit surprising the way it ended in the end. You know, it was just a bit of overcooking from the side of Crusaders, and they're not able to get back into it and deal with the pressure that they basically put on themselves. It was that double commit in the corner there. 2 players, very slow to rotate back. The one player that was back just got overwhelmed, and you could see the panic start to set in. The players started lunging in from left and right when they did get back, and yeah, in the end it was open for Magis, and it was pressure built by them, but it was a bit of an overextend by Crusaders. Up till that point, I will say both teams played almost perfectly defensively. There was, of course, blunders offensively from both teams, but defensively they were holding up very well. And I think this next game here is gonna be a bit of a free fall, because now everything is a bit up in the air. You know, both teams know that they're both strong defensively, and they can't just win it by sitting back the whole game. There needs to be a bit of an offensive mix-up from either side here.
Yeah, 100%. Crusaders really don't want to let themselves go 2-0 down in this series. It is a best of 7, so they won't need a reverse sweep if that happens, but it's still a really tough mountain to climb here, and that will just make it even tougher. Noah opens the scoring already.
Yeah, it's a great bump by FB in the corner there to just completely open up the goal. And yeah, no one home on the side of Crusaders. Umagis, they're gonna strike immediately on that opportunity. Not gonna be like the last game where they had a couple opportunities, didn't make the most of them. This time, they have an opening, and it's as free as you get it, and they just strike. This one from Rust, not good enough. Fiti is gonna carry it forward. Isn't looking like he's gonna be able to do much here, but a bit of a blunder by Cheese. Rust has to lunge in. Gets a 50 in the end, but that was looking dangerous. And if you're on the side of Crusaders, you really need to buckle up now. Need to get it going. Duality looking to do just that, carrying it forward. It's the flick off, but not doing too much. Fiti with those 2 demos as well, giving Noah so much time to think about what to do, carrying this one forward. Gets a great 50. FB not able to get it where he wanted it to. And Fiti getting beaten here. Now it's only Noah, 77 saves. Make that 78 right there as he deals with the pressure beautifully. But it's not over yet. But that shot, not enough. Onto the backboard. Is there a follow-up? Yes, but it's dealt with by FB as well. Rust, weak shot. Not gonna do much. Great touch here by Cheese, 50. wasn't expected by Duality. And now this pressure all of a sudden is on the orange side, and they looked like they were struggling to deal with it here, Char.
Yeah, Crusaders, they really need to get back into this, but right now they're struggling to get the ball out. Umagus are putting on so much pressure. They just look a bit faster than Crusaders right now. That's a double commit that will not help them out now. Now, Julity, can he make the most of it? Just a poor touch. Losing control there, not able to make the most of that mispossession by Umagus. Now Noah trying to take it down the other way, gets it past Cheese. Julity can turn on this one though. He has time. There's one back. Demo in net. That's a lovely, lovely Crusaders equalize.
Yep. And every single other time, I don't know if you've noticed as well in this game, Rust has just shot it low, and it's not worked a single time. This time, he has a teammate running ahead, clearing out the goal, and the last defender, he committed a bit too high. That means that ball can just cruise straight into the goal. He's gonna have another opportunity here. Takes his time, goes past FB, goes for the pinch, but cannot quite get it. It's dealt with poorly by Umagis. This one is not gonna be a shot on goal. It doesn't look like. Indeed, it won't. Rust looking to find Duality on that right-hand side. FB is up for the task though. Ends up being a 50. Fidi misreads that one. And now Rust in the corner looking to chase it. Cheese gets a touch. It's not what Duality would have wanted, but it's what he gets. Can he do anything with it? No. It's FB to launch it straight back into that orange side. Gonna have a chance to just go shoot on target. Went to try and pass it to Noah instead. And now it's Duality looking to get it forward. Cheese helping him out a little bit there. Gets a demo while rotating out. And now Rust can just take his time here. Gets it past 150 set to Duality. Has so much time. Cannot quite get it past Fidi though on the pre-jump. Now in the air, Cheese looking for the corner. Noah is gonna take his time here. Gets it past 1. But Duality looking to snipe that one through. Rust was kind of eyeing it up, but nothing happens from it there.
Cheese will cut it out now. Now a mid-pass opportunity. Noah with the shot. And Julity manages to get the all-important touch onto the post. The slimmest of margins, keeping out Umagis from their second. They're pushing once again for it, though. That one's awkward for Julity. Gets the touch, but Fiti is there, keeping that pressure on, trying to put it into the middle. Rust, a little bit awkward. Gets the touch over Noah, though, and a double as well. FB can collect that one though. Julity trying to race Noah. That's a nice 50. Cheese almost gets bumped into it actually, but cannot quite make the connection on it. Both of these teams, we're once again seeing something somewhat similar to game one here, Veiled. Both of these teams were at a level scoreline and they're kind of locked in a bit of a stalemate here, both having chances, but neither really able to push the needle enough to get it into the net. Cheese keeps out Magus' latest attempt.
Yeah, but I want you to keep an eye on one thing, Char. Duality has absolutely leveled up in this game specifically. He has taken so much control over the ball for his team, giving them so much time, giving them so many opportunities. Of course, not a lot of them have been taken so far, but just the amount of work he's doing on the ball is absolutely astonishing. I want to see Cheese level up a little bit. He's been spoon-fed a couple of those situations, but haven't really been able to fire a shot on target. And I think that is the difference maker right now. Can they unlock Cheese? Well, this series is all up in the air all of a sudden. But it's not going to come for free. Umagis on the other side have been playing pretty well themselves. As you see right there, FB having a great opportunity. Just get stopped on the goal line. But now the attack is coming from Crusaders onto the left wall for them here. Cheese looking to put it high, but in the process, kind of just helps Umagis get it out of danger. Really, now he's going to have another opportunity. Puts it on the backboard. Rust needs to go for this. He does, but it's not good enough. We do have another overtime here, Chow.
Yeah, second overtime in a row. 2 games in this series so far and 2 overtimes. Everything going down to the wire so far. That's a nice pass over to FB, but Rust able to keep it out. Fidi can't get the follow-up because Julity is there. Crusaders, they got so close to losing this overtime in the opening seconds, but it didn't go in. Now a redirect from Noah. That's 3 chances already for Umagis in this overtime. Fiti into the middle. Cheese needs to get the touch out. Noah looking forward for it. Gets 1 touch. Gets a 50. Fiti's up. Fiti with the shot, but it's weak, and Rust able to get it away. Umagis, they've come out into this overtime absolutely swinging.
Yeah, this one bouncing in the corner. Fiddy gonna get a 50, but it's gonna fly towards Cheese. Looking for that corner, gets the second touch, makes Rust a bit awkward, but he's able to get to it in the end. This one tried to be fired away by Noah. He's gonna track back to it, put it in the corner again. And FB gets a great touch over the head of Duality. Fiddy taking it forward here. Bit of a double commit in the corner there from the side of Crusaders. Opens things up for Master FB, but he cannot quite place the shot within the frame. And that means this overtime goes on. Noah looking for that backboard, looking for the double.
No
Saved
way.
away by Duality. And the bumps are coming in, but it's Rust to carry this one away from the goal.
How have Umagis not ended this overtime yet? They have had so many chances, but the crossbar, the post, a wayward Crusaders car getting bumped into it, everything has been able to stop them so far. Now Duality has a chance of his own to end it. That's a chance for Rust with the shot, but that's weak. And now Fiti can get on it, on the wall, looking to take it forward. 100 boost to the backboard. Duality though will cut that one out. Rust looking to take over. FB trying to push on that one, but cannot beat Duality to it. Now Duality, no touch on that one. Fiti should be able to just take this one out. Duality makes it a little bit awkward, but it's right back. She's looking for the mid pass. Who's there for it? Duality can't get it on net either. Rust up though. Rust with the shot, and Rust with the finish. That overtime was all Umagis, but it doesn't matter when Crusaders are the one to score.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about when they create those quality chances. This right here, just they're really just taking out the defenders one by one, really structurally, just taking them out. And then what we've seen a lot of times is that finish in the end has just not really been it. But Rust, who I criticized a little bit early on in the series, he stepped up in this moment and he made sure that that shot was gonna go straight into the goal. It's a great finish. It's a great build up by the whole team. And just look at the point distribution on that orange side. 794 to the man of Rust, 610 to Duality, and the lowest is Cheese, but he doesn't even have little amount of points. He has 282 points and 12 saves on the side of Crusaders. And if you compare that to the side of Bumagis, they only had 3 saves that whole game. And it's Crusaders that comes away with the win there.
Yeah, just ridiculous amount of Umagis pressure. 16 shots to 5 for Umagis that game, but doesn't matter when at the end of the line Crusaders are the ones walking away with the game win, and Crusaders are the ones tying up our series here in the Prospect Plains. 1-1, we're down from a best of 7 to a best of 5. We're here on DFH Stadium, and this next game is so crucial here for the outcome of this series. Can Umagis reinstate their one-game lead, or will Crusaders push on after that overtime win and start to take the control in this series?
Yeah, it was a strong start there from Umagis. No goal to go away from it though. Cheese looking to lob this one in the corner, make it awkward for Noah, and he does succeed for it. It goes straight to Duality, but struggles to keep the control there. A great demo though to keep the pressure going. Fiddy has to launch it from the backboard to get it forward, just get it away from their goal, but it comes at a cost. Possession is given up immediately. Duality tests FB's patience here, and it looked like he was up to the task. Bit of a double commit in the defensive side here from the side of Crusaders. Leads to a pass into a shot, but it only goes to the corner. Rust here gets beaten out by Noah. Now the attack is on for Magis. Can he follow this one up? No. Duality passes it to Fiddy though. Cheese has to deal with it. Into the corner he goes, but this one is awkward for Rust. Gets bumped away. Only Cheese is back with 0 boost. Duality helps him out a little bit. The ball came straight to him. That 50 not going the way of Crusaders, and the demo in the back line just secures it. It's Noah to put himself on the board once again.
Yeah, that physical play is something that up until this point, I haven't seen as much as I maybe would have expected from this Umagus roster last season in the Prospect playoffs with that lower bracket run with Noah, Samzi, and Francis. A huge part of their game was that physical play. Noah in particular is known throughout the tier as an absolute demo menace here. So I haven't seen it much so far in this series, but maybe that is the start of it. This is another chance for Fiti, and we have the first lead that is by more than one goal in this series.
Yeah, very impressive. And I just want to point out, I think it was Master FB after the last game said that they could not shoot. And I would like to disagree with that because the defense on the side of Crusaders last game was next level. There were saves that should not be happening, but it looks like something has unlocked in Omagis. They have just scored 3 goals in 1 minute and 30 seconds, where both the other games we needed pretty much a 2.5 minute overtime just to finish the game. And all in all, we only had what, 4 goals in total in those 2 games?
Yeah.
We're almost matching this in this game alone.
Yeah, we're very close to that total already here, and we'll see if they can do it. Magus have started off this game 3 so strong, though. I wonder if Petroid, who I'm sure will be coaching them as he does always with the lower tiers, I wonder if he has said anything to this team to change up the way they play. They have been going for those physical plays a little bit more. You saw it on that first goal. That's what led to that goal. So maybe there's been a bit of an adjustment here from Imagus. Whatever it is, it seems to be working so far, but the disadvantage of scoring so many this early is that there is plenty of time for the opposition to get back into it. So they won't want to rest on their laurels here. They want to keep pushing for an even higher lead. And yeah, you see that again. Noah opting out of the shot for the bump. They're going for those physical plays much more here in this game 3.
Yeah, indeed they are. Duality looking to get this one out of defense because they want to be trying to find those goals right now. They want to be trying to fix whatever just got broken going into this game. And yeah, to be fair, I think it's just the amount of pressure that Omagis has created. Even in the last game, how often do you see a team winning when they take on 16 shots and they only put away 5? It's not often, but here it is, one chance to get back on the scoreboard for the side of Crusaders, and they made it count. They still need to find 2. It's not over yet, but Rust has opened up the possibility for his team here.
Yeah, and that's a poor one to concede for Umagus. A double commit almost in the opponent's corner is never something you want to be seeing, especially when one of those players that double commit was the third man, and that just leaves it completely open for us to go down the other way. And that's a freebie for Crusaders. They'll need 2 more goals to get back into this one. I'm sure they won't mind 2 more freebies, but Imagus won't want to give it to them. They might need to work for these next 2 goals, but they have proved throughout this series they are more than capable of doing that. Russ taking this one off the backboard. Nice cut out by Fidi here. Has really stepped up in this game number 3. 2 goals to his name, 1 assist as well. 100% goal participation so far. He's had a real step up game, but that's a poor miss from Julity, and then she's again the crossbar joining the Umagus roster for a second.
That was it right there. That was the chance to get back into this game. You score that goal, you have your opponent shaking. They were up 3 goals just a couple of minutes ago, and all of a sudden it would have been flipped upside down, but not to be. And in the process they end up conceding 1 as well, just completely dooming this game from their side. Now it's all about momentum. You're not winning this game anymore, Crusaders. I'm sorry to say it, but that opportunity died when you missed those 2 open nets. But hold up, another one. But surely it's too much of a task for them to overcome right now.
I've been proven you wrong here, Veiled. 51 seconds, 2 goals. I've seen crazier things happen, but they'll have to work for it. They'll have to go fast off this kickoff, throw everything at this ball. That's a nice kickoff to start it off. That's bouncing off the ceiling. Julity's up for it, but Master FB able to cut out that shot, and That was worrying if you are an Umagus fan for a second there, but that one might just go all the way back. Julity able to get a touch to take it away from the oncoming Umagus player, but they're running out of time. 30 seconds, 2 goals is looking less and less likely with every second that goes by. The ball is in the wrong side of the wrong side of the field for Crusaders. That's hit forward, that's a bump attempt, that's a shot and a save from Noah. All but seals this game.
Yeah, it does. It is too much. I think we can officially say it. This game is over. Will it be with a cherry on top from the side of Umagis though? No, doesn't look like it. Maybe from the side of Crusaders? No, it's gonna hit the ground. It's gonna be Umagis to take the lead in this series once again. They did it after the first game. They've not done it for a second time. But we still have a potential 3 more games, I believe. Wait, no, 4 more games to finish off this series. Crusaders, they're not out yet, but they have a bit of work cut out for them going into the next game. It looked like they kind of figured it out towards the end, but they need to make sure that they get the end product when they have the opportunity in front of them. Of course, there was, in the end, that last shot that was saved was just a brilliant save. That was a great build up by them. It was a great shot, great placement. Everything was there, but this save was just a tad bit better, and that's just how it goes sometimes. But it looked like they were keeping up with the pressure a little bit more towards the end there.
Yeah, 100%. The first game that hasn't gone to overtime here in this series is taken by Umagus, and they did manage to reinstate their lead here heading onto Utopia Coliseum. 2-1 up, game number 4. They have the opportunity to go on match point here, do Umagus. Crusaders, they cannot let that happen. They cannot let themselves be 1 game away from their season being over. A season that they have worked so hard to make it to this point over a long league play. And yeah, both of these teams have played so hard to even be here. It's been such a tightly contested tier this season. Both of them have done so well to get here. Neither of them will want it to end now, but for Crusaders, that's getting a little bit closer. That maybe could have been a goal put away there by Master FB. A little bit of an open net miss there. I'm not quite sure how open it was. And now a chance, another miss coming through. Both of these teams missing pretty fully fledged opportunities so far.
Yeah, dealt with here by Duality. Goes to the side though, FB takes a touch up. Is there a defender there? Yes, but it's very awkward. Cheese does just enough to keep it out. Duality, luckily, ends up bouncing straight down to the play there. Team pinch attempted, but not succeeded. Noah to lob it in front of goal again. Cheese putting it forward, and a nice touch by Russ to just ease off the pressure just a little bit, but it only goes so far as Fiddy was waiting for exactly that. Just launches it straight in front of the goal again. Cheese, big bang, but once again FB just waiting there. They're playing very patiently right now if you're on the side of Umagis. That demo is going to open things up for them though to get this counter started. Cheese with the chance to take a shot, but it's not great enough. Noah with a whiff, a great 50 there by Duality, opens things up for Rust. He puts it on the crossbar, and Cheese, we've seen him jump so many times. How many times have you seen him put a shot on target? Not many, but this time he absolutely buries it. And that is what matters. When it matters most, he was there to put that one in the back of the net, Char.
Yeah, but I have a little bit of question marks over the defending there. Master FB, it felt like he could have got that touch, but he turned away from it. He tried to wait. He thought he had a lot more time than he did, but Cheese made sure he did not have that time. Managed to bury it into that top corner, like you say, and now Crusaders, they have a 1-goal advantage. They're looking to press that number. They're looking to make it even higher here. Julity hits that one forward into the hands of Noah. Nice touch off the backboard, maybe looking for a reset, just fakes that one out, but no one from Umagus is able to follow up. Master FB, that's a pinch from Rust. Noah doesn't get the contact, but Fiti is there. She's already up to the backboard. Rust has to get a touch, does so well though. Noah going for it now, gets a 50 through too, cuts it as well. Can he get the second? He doesn't go for it. He went for the bump instead. don't know about you, Vil, but I thought he could have made that one.
I don't think so, because you see him going for the bump in the end. I think if he doesn't, oh, a great chance there, and it's Cheese from the sky again. Just to go back to that moment a little bit before, I think if he doesn't go for the bump and if he goes for the ball instead, I think he's the one that gets bumped, and I don't think he scores it either way. I think it was the right decision from him. It's just unfortunate he doesn't have a teammate in the area to clean up after him, after that great play to take out two defenders. And just to go back, Cheese, once again in the sky, making it 2 for him in this game. I said if he can get unlocked, it's a completely different game. And when we saw last game Umagis completely dominating in the beginning of the game, all of a sudden we're seeing Crusaders doing exactly the same in the following game.
Crusaders responds to that 3-0 lead that Umagis had in the last game with a 3-0 lead of their own here, but this time Umagis, they have a lot less time to catch up than Crusaders did. Still got 2 minutes here on the clock, and that might help if someone is there, but nobody is mid for this Umagis team. They're playing a little bit not conjoined here. They're not there to follow up on each other's touches, on each other's passes. It feels like it's just solo play after solo play here. Again, another ball dropping down into the middle with no one from Umagis able to make a connection on it. They're not helping each other here. It's just they're trying to outplay the defense 1v3 every time, and you're going to need a lot of moments of magic for that to happen with a 3-goal deficit.
Yeah. I think what's going wrong for Umagis right now is they're trying to play very structured. They're playing together as we just see Cheese getting his hat trick, and it goes back to what I was trying to say. It's Umagis are looking like they're trying to play very structured. They're looking to play off of each other. They're looking to put a lot of trust. They're slowing down their individual game so that they can play faster as a team. But those awkward moments that comes from the fact that Crusaders is just not playing like that at all. They're really just going every single time, every single ball they're playing like the whole series depends on it. And they're putting everything on the line, every single challenge, every single shot on target, everything. Not everything goes their way. And that's what we see last game. When they cannot get everything to go their way, when Umagis can just sit back and play their style of gameplay, they will have so much control. But it only takes one little thing to go wrong, one little rotation to be out of place from the side of Umagis, and all of a sudden the whole thing is opened up. And I think that's what they're struggling with right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Crusaders are just playing at a speed and a style that Umagis cannot match right now. 5-0 here, a statement game from Crusaders in their quest for Championship Sunday. They're looking like they're gonna tie up the series here. Could we get another Game 7 just like that first series? Only time will tell, but for now, we're all but locked in here at a 2-2 scoreline. The rest of this game just goes down to momentum. Can Umagis get a consolation goal here to try and get their spirits back up just a little bit? Master FB trying to take this one forward. Can't get the right touches though. VT will be on that ball, looking for the second touch as well. That's into the middle. No one there from Umagis. Noah now trying to get this one back into the middle. Again, no one there from Umagis. It's a sentence that I found myself saying far too much this game. 5-0 here on Utopia Coliseum. Umagis, you need a response.
Yeah, if I'm on the side of Umagis here, knowing that they have Petroid sitting in the back that can give them so much insight, I would just call the timeout right here.
I agree.
As you are, yeah,
Yeah, they're
and it
doing
comes in
it.
right there as the timer comes in, because they have not looked this completely like destructured the whole series. They've been playing good together. You know, they lost that one game, but it was so close. They could have won it if it just went a little different. And this game, they were just not on the same page at all. There was not a single moment in this game where Magis looked like they were actually had a chance to come back in the game, or where they looked like now is the chance that they're gonna create and they're gonna get a goal back. And I think if they can get Petroid in there, if he can do his magic and get the guys to play like they're supposed to, play with each other, put the trust in each other, and just confidence in themselves, they can look like Umagis again, and they can maybe get back into the series. Well, I say get back. This game was a statement from Crusaders. It's not lost yet from the side of Umagis, but they have some work to do if they want to get into the series again.
Yeah, 100%. There's so much momentum for this Crusaders side. They're hoping that the timeout will halt some of that, but it's going to be so tough here for Imagis. I think what I want to see from them going into this next game and the rest of this series is just try and play a little bit more aggressive, because they looked so passive in that game, and yeah, it just didn't work for them at all. This Crusaders team are playing a playstyle that makes that so hard to do. And when you're trying to play this passive, this controlled against a team like Crusaders that are going fast to the ball, like you said, putting everything on the line every time, it's very rarely going to work out for you, I think. But yeah, so what I want to see from them is a bit more aggression here, because they have the quality to do that on this team, but they're just not showing it right now.
Well, I think when you put it like you say that it's rarely gonna work out. I think it should work out most of the time actually. When you're playing against a team like this is where you should flourish. This is where you should do your best work, because they're just gonna give the ball to you so many times from mistakes. But it's the fact that they're not really forcing those mistakes, and when those mistakes are happening, they are out of position because they didn't really trust that it was gonna happen, and they went for a different rotation that what is ideal in the thing. And it goes back to the fact that you have to put in so much focus when you're playing this way. You have to completely focus on how you're positioning your car, how your teammates are positioning themselves, how you're going to be in the best possible position for your teammates. Um, and then when you have a team like Crusaders that is just going every single time, they're not second guessing themselves, they're just going again and again and again. It, that's when all the focus you already putting in can come back and bite you, because all of a sudden you have to focus on so many different things at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. Their timeout is over. The time for them to discuss, to work out what went wrong in that last game is now done. Petroid will have been working his magic. Let's see how it goes. Noah up for a solo play. Can't get the reset past Julity though. Master now for a solo play of his own off the ceiling. That's into the middle. Fiti, sorry, trying to reach that, but can't. But that might just be a wide open net. She's almost able to get back for it. And if there's one way to start a game after a timeout, Veiled, it is that.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I just explained. They're gonna give you the ball for free from the mistakes if you force them, and that's exactly what they did. They took the ball to the corner. They lost their 50 on purpose after getting two defenders to commit. Gets the demo and it's completely open. It's just completely sealed from there, and they need to keep this up though. But it's not gonna come easy. Duality, that was having a great start of the series, has been a bit quiet, but this just goes to show you cannot count him out yet. Perfectly places that top left corner, and absolutely nothing Umagis's defense can do about that.
Yeah, that is a lovely finish there from Julity. Tying up this game so quickly after the opening goal went in. Who will get that next one? Julity looking to make that him once again, but that's a fairly weak shot, fairly routine save for FB. Now into the middle, no one from Imagus wanting to commit for that one, probably wisely so, but Julity looking to punish them for it. Can't find the net on that occasion. FB playing this out to Noah. Noah wins the race, looking for the double, gets it into the corner, looking for another touch actually, but cut out by Russ. Nice idea there by Noah. That's into the middle. Master FB up high. Can't get the double though. Maybe not the touch that he would have wanted. He probably was looking to go for a double tap there, but didn't quite come off for him. Now here he is again off his own backboard, whiffs the touch though, and now Julity off the backboard. Cheese is there, and Cheese is just faster than the defender and puts it away.
Yeah, and just as it looked like Umagis are starting to wake up from the last game, A little bit of a mistake from FB just completely opens things up. Noah not expecting to have to step in that early, and he is the last defender as well. Very awkward position to be in, and it's very, very greatly capitalized as well from the side of Crusaders. The pass from Duality into Cheese, who just buries it with no questions asked. And that is the a bit of ferocity we need from Omagis, as we see Fidi just putting that one in the back of the net as well. It's a great flick from him. Lets Noah take over, puts it on the backboard, just like the opposition just did moments before, and then buries the rebound into the back of the net. Tied game once again.
BT able to get that equalizer for Umagis. Cheese looking to respond quickly off the backboard. Master FB doesn't get the touch. That's a shot from Rust. And that one really should have been put away. Now the counter-attack. Julity's bump. Master with the shot. And he puts it away. And from a miss on one end to a perfectly executed Umagis counter.
Yeah, and it was looking very awkward from the side of Umagis on that counter attack, because you had two players that both wanted to be going for that ball, but they very quickly figured out what they wanted to do. The flick comes in from FB, Noah gets sent forward to go for the bump, gets it, and it's just open from there. And yeah, it's greatly executed by Umagis. Goes to show that they definitely are a different team than last game. Of course, there was that one mistake, but they've gone to show that that one mistake is not going to be what shakes them up. They're not going to be starting to let this series slip away as FB finds another open net, and all of a sudden it's Crusaders that are finding themselves having issues once again.
If you go for that ball, you need to win it, and he did not do so on that occasion. Noah into the middle, FB with the finish, Umagis with the 4-2 lead here. Just over half the game still to play. Anything can happen, but Crusaders, they need to fight back from a deficit. That's another shot. That's hit the post, though, from Master FB, and Crusaders get let off with the deficit being increased even more. Now, maybe something down the other end, but Fiti will try and take this one away. Julity, though, cuts it out, gets a second touch as well. Fairly simple for FB there onto the wall, trying to play a 50. That's a nice win though from Rust. Now off the ceiling, trying to play it to Cheese. Cheese up for it, but that should be a free clear for Noah. Not a lot of boost to do that with, but FB does really, really well to get it away and now start another Umagis attack.
Yeah, Cheese gets a ground pinch on that 50, actually launches it upfield on the follow-up. Rust with the 50, Duality's up, can he get the beat? No. He gets dunked. Cheese, last man back. Great touch from him. Gives himself a little bit of time to get it past the next person, but cannot quite do it. Duality into the corner here. Demo is being found by the Umagis offense, but Cheese getting back just in time. Now Rust is up for this one. Gets a bit of a whiff. Launched upfield by Cheese, but gets cut out by Fidi. It's a bit open. Cheese, all that separates them from conceding a goal, and he cannot do enough. And it's Umagis that is basically secured themselves the double match point here. Not over yet. I have been close to eating my words before, but they are looking very controlling in this game compared to last one and the game before that even.
Yeah, Umagis have done very, very well here. 5-2 lead. 1 minute 15 left for Crusaders to do something about it. Ceiling pinch attempt for Master. That would have been a nice one to add to the highlight reel if it had gone in. Not to be on that occasion though. Julity taking this one forward. Master now getting it off the net. Going for it. He's off the backboard. He's looking for a reset. No reset there, and gets in the way of Noah a little bit. Both of them have committed. Fiti, last back, needs to get a touch, but does very well. Master, though, that's maybe not the best touch. Noah able to bail him out, and now Crusaders, they do not have the time to play with here. They need to get this ball into the back of the net. It doesn't go in on the first time of asking, but Julity is there to give them a shred of hope here in this game.
But you can sense the sense of urgency on the side of Crusaders, that they know that they need to get the goal and they need it right now. You saw Rust diving in when his teammate was still looking like he was going to take the next touch. Rust sees an opening, goes for it, almost gets a great double or great dunk into the back of the net. Can't quite get it, but it's Duality to pick up the slack in the end. He's looking to launch this one forward as well. Put into the corner here for FB. Cheese gonna have a freebie here onto the backboard. Noah, it's gonna be very awkward. Gets a great touch, and now FB has a 1v1. Rust launching in. Gets a bit of a touch. FB keeping it out of harm's way for now. This one opened up, and it looks like it's gonna be exactly like the last game. It could have been, but not quite. It is gonna be Omagis to push themselves ahead once again.
And I would not be surprised at all if we see a timeout call here from Crusaders. They're down onto the receiving end of a match point. Umagis, they win the next game, and Crusaders season, is over. No call from this team just yet, and they've already up, so it looks like unless something comes in, they might just be going into the next game without a timeout call. They just want to get this over and done with here, which I would probably be taking a timeout right now, but then again, I didn't make playoffs, so who am I to say?
Honestly, don't expect a timeout from this sort of team. And that's not to talk them down, but they don't really play in a structured way. It doesn't look like a play style that is coached, you know. It looks like they are playing from the feel. It looks like they're trying to feel out how the game is going, how they're supposed to be playing the game. And I think it would only hurt them if they call a timeout for themselves. They really just need to stay in the moment. They need to make sure that they are as prepared as they can be, but I don't really think a timeout is going to help them.
Yeah, fair enough, but they need to change something here to get back into the series, because that game, Umagis were quite clearly the better team. They had a lot of the pressure. They started to play a little bit more aggressive. They forced those mistakes from Crusaders like you were talking about earlier, and that helped them a lot to get this match point. And now on Neo Tokyo, they are one game away from heading over to Championship Sunday, but they need to get it over the line here or in the next game. And against this Crusaders roster that played so well in that series earlier, that have played so well throughout the duration of this series and the whole season in general, it's going to be so tough to do. But now their season on the line. Who can step up? What can they do when it is all or nothing for Crusaders?
Well, I think the answer was right there. Duality with a wonder of a save here. It looks like they might have to do it again. Not quite. Duality now has a lot of time here. Gets the 50. Cheese now with an opportunity. Looks to find Duality, but FB cuts it out just in time. But this one is hanging in the danger zone. If Russ can find it, not quite. Gets the 50. Duality cannot quite make it to it. Cheese is going to keep it forward. Duality finding the 50. Rust is up early for this, but still gets beaten out by Noah. Fidi, back pass to FB, takes his time, gets a touch, goes for the bounce shot. Not quite on target, but a bit of danger is preserved, but Rust has just found an opening, and he has just scored a goal for Crusaders when they need it once again. And it looks like this Crusaders team, like I said, they like to play it by feel, but it also looks like when the moment needs it the most, they step up individually. Everything they need. It looks like when they need it the most, it just happens. They make it happen.
Yeah, Ross, really nice beat on the third man there. That's a bit awkward though, a double commit right on the goal line. That one could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for Crusaders, it went out of the net. Now FB off the backboard. Fiti can't make it though. That's a demo. That's an open net. Will Noah respawn in time? He can't get back to it. And Rust with his second of the game.
Yeah. And one thing I was gonna maybe mention, I noticed towards the end of last game, the control, the forcing errors that we were seeing from Omagis, it wasn't really happening towards the latter end of the last game. I wasn't really gonna mention it yet because I was trying to wait and see how it panned out in this game starting out. But while they have tried to force a couple of errors, it looks like Crusaders have adapted a little bit, but it is a quick counter here to get one back from the side of Umagis. But I'm not concerned, but I'm very curious to see how Umagis deals with the fact that they can't really get their thing to work, and especially since they already spent their timeout. If Crusaders goes on to win this game, it is looking like Game 7 it's gonna be all up to the players on the side of Umagis to figure out how they're gonna be winning that.
100%, but this game so far, we've seen 3 goals come from 3 overcommits. The 4th one, though, is a backboard rebound from Master FB's shot. All of Umagis pushed up, so that could have been another overcommit if a Crusaders player could get a touch on it. None of them were able to, though, and Fiti able to slot that one away, and just as quickly as their lead materialized, it has now disappeared here, and we're all tied up. Just over half of the game still to play. This is a chance, maybe that's into the middle. No one there for Crusaders. I think that's courtesy of the demo there from Fiti. But still, Crusaders pressure. Rust already up for that one. Doesn't get contact, but that's a fake. And Noah forced into the save. Now Fiti into the save. And now can someone get their cheese? Just able to get back to stop that open net.
Yeah, that looked like it needed to be a shot from Noah. It was basically begging, they were basically begging them to take a shot on that open net. Not quite though. It is Cheese now to take it forward. Noah goes for the shot this time, looking to find Fiti. It's a bit of a misread, but it somehow ends up being a clear, and it somehow ends up being Cheese chasing this one down. Gets a low 50, tries to block out Noah as well. Cannot quite do it. Great touch here by Duality. Awkward is Umagi's defense. A whiff from FB. Rust looking for that corner to set up Duality, but he sniped the crossbar. And at a moment when they absolutely need a goal, they struggle to find it.
1 minute 30 left, and Jollity will take the lead for this Crusaders roster. They couldn't do it at the first time of asking, but the second time Jollity snipes the bottom corner, puts Crusaders with 1 foot on Champions Field.
Yeah, and I don't know if you realized, but it was basically just the exact same shot we saw Duality with just moments ago, just mirrored. And this time he makes up for it. They have the lead now. They have to hold on to this and maybe even build on it. It's a whiff there. It's a good start. Off the sidewall here. Has all of the field to go for it. Tries to go for the outplay, but it's Noah with the big brain to get it into safety for his team. Buy them some extra time. FB now has a bit of time. Gets bumped off it though. Noah taking it forward into the corner. Looking to force that pass to his teammate. It happens, but it's Duality with dealing with it again. Now Noah is the one that gets the ball passed to him. Gets it past 1, gets it past 2, but Cheese ain't having none of it. He's clearing it straight down into the blue half again. Cheese taking a shot, and it's just open at a moment where Umagis needs to show that they can be composed going into next game, and they've just left the door completely open. Very uncharacteristic mistake here, Cha.
They had 3 players all behind the ball there, but none of them able to stop that from just trickling into the net. Jeez, I'm sure when he made that touch, he wasn't expecting it to go in, but I'm sure afterwards he was more than pleased about it. 30 seconds left, Umagis, 2 goals needed. Noah sends this one forward. Rust up for it, hits it to the side one. Noah just goes a little bit too far in front. This ball is in the wrong half right now for Umagis. Master can't get the contact on it. It's so awkward. That's bouncing in front of the net. They need it down the other end, down the other side of the pitch. It's not gonna happen for Umagis. They fall here on Neo Tokyo, and for the second time tonight, we have Champions Field. We have Game 7. The winner will move on to Championship Sunday, and the loser is out.
Yeah, and this is just what I was talking about. I can't help but feel a bit nervous for the side of Umagis because they don't have a timeout now. They'll need to figure all of this out themselves, and they haven't really shown me that they can do that in any moment that they've faced some off what's it called? Every single time that they faced a challenge, it didn't look like they could just figure it out on the fly. Every single mid game, it looked like they were really struggling to get back in the games when they went down. Even in this game, they got back into the game, but they struggled to close it out in the end. They just couldn't find anything after that second goal. It was just all Crusaders. And Crusaders, they didn't even need the timeout. They've been figuring everything out this whole series on the fly. I struggle to see Umagis get out ahead in the next game. they really have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, both of these teams have so much riding on this game. It's gone all the way, gone the distance. Crusaders playing their second Game 7 of the evening. One more game to decide which of these teams will be moving on into that top 8, into that playoff bracket with a chance to play for the trophy, and which of these teams, after a long and hard fought season, will be going home. We'll find out after the next 5 minutes, potentially more if we see an overtime, but that is 5 minutes away. For now, it's down to these players and what they can do on this storied field.
Yeah, only Champions Field is keeping us from knowing who's gonna be here comes Sunday. And well, your guess would be as good as mine on who wins it. I was saying that Omagis is looking like the underdog right now, but it is Game 7. Everything can happen. Crusaders could just all of a sudden start to panic, could start to feel the nerves. I feel like that is not gonna be the case. As we saw last series, they did exactly the same. Went all the way to Game 7 and ended up closing it out. This time Omag is facing pressure, Fiddy dealing with it, getting it forward, but it's Cheese to put it straight back into the blue half. You see FB racing back to make sure that Noah knows he has some help behind him. Ends up passing the ball to Duality here. Cannot find the bump either. He's gonna have to settle for that corner boost. Mid pass comes in from Fiddy, but that shot is not gonna find its target from FB. Cheese goes for the 50 here. Not quite what he would have hoped. They get away with it this time though. Duality
Right now,
to the side.
he seems to just be playing a bit too fast for his own good, and I wonder if that will come back to bite him. Sorry for cutting you off there, Vale. You might cut out for me just for a second, but yeah, both of these teams neither able to score a goal quite yet, and neither really having any massive chances to shout about, but just under 2 minutes played here. Let's see who can get that first big chance and who can get that first goal.
Yeah, Rust putting on the pressure. Cheese gets a 50. Duality opting not to go for it. I think that's a good decision. Cheese putting it back in the blue half. Noah is gonna be there first, but he has low boost. But FB is helping him out here. Rust is faking the fact that he has no boost here, just not giving any information away. Cheese gonna go to the corner here, gonna take control of this, but it goes to Fitty, looking for that backboard. Two defenders up, but both have missed. Cheese gets back in time, but that is a blunder you cannot be making on Champions Field.
Yeah, half of the game still to play, still 0-0 between these two sides. That's into the middle. A touch from Cheese will make it so that Durfidi gets an awkward shot. That one might just roll all the way in. It was so awkward for the last defender on the side of Crusaders. He got a touch, but it wasn't enough. It might have not been going in with the touch. It won't matter for Umagis because they take the lead.
That one will hurt if you're on the side of Crusaders, but they're starting out strong off this kickoff. It's great pressure here. Cheese looking to put it high. Noah gets a touch. Is going to be able to follow it once more. Duality gets sent flying. Rust can only get a mediocre 50 at best, but this one is given to Cheese for free by Fitty. This one is whiffed. FB gets a touch. It is centered for Rust. A bounce shot. Not good enough to find the back of the net, but they keep the pressure. Duality looking for a 50, but cannot quite do enough. Cheese puts this one out of harm's way. Duality now has to buy time for Cheese to find some boost because Rust was demoed in the backline. Fitty up for this one, cannot quite find it. And now Rust launching it up. Cheese up early, gets the touch into the corner here. Noah puts it straight back towards the teammate. A bit of a double commit here. Duality sees the opportunity and just launches it. Now Rust following up that pressure, cannot quite turn it into anything, but Cheese taking a bit of putt shot, but not enough to get this game tied up again.
Crusaders trying to put that pressure on. They need something here. Just over a minute still to play. Just over a minute for these players to save their season. Julity going up for that one off the corner. Cheese is up for it. Cheese with the shot, but FB with the save. Now, counter-attack, pre-flip. That one is just wide. He cannot put a second behind, but every second that is stalled off the clock for this Umagis team is one closer to taking such a hard-fought series. Rust trying to take this one forward. Fiti clears it. Master over to the side. Cheese, 30 seconds left. Crusaders, they need a goal. That's a demo coming forward, but FB is there to collect, looking for the air dribble. Time running out for Crusaders.
Yeah, off the backboard here. Rust needs to make contact and does. The bump comes in though, but Rust picking it back up. Gets the flick. Cheese going for the bump. Cannot quite get it. It is dying moments of the game now. Duality centers it, but all three players were in that same corner. Rust has to launch in. Cannot do enough. This one off the backboard will be dropped, and it will be Umagis to take this game 7. They did what I didn't think that they could do, and they've showed us that they can adapt in the middle of a series, and they take that game 7 in a well-fought battle between these two teams. Both of them showing just why they should be considered in the top 8, but unfortunately, only one of them will be there come Sunday, and it will be Umagis.
Yeah, Umagis, they manage to take it in the end. What a series from both of these teams, though. Crusaders actually coming out on top in terms of goals, but Umagis were the ones who got that wins 4-3, which in the end is all that matters. And yeah, it's what a series we had here, Veiled. And series MVP, Master FB, completely deserved. But honestly, it could have gone to any of those 6 players. All players played so well and gave us such a spectacle to watch here.
Yeah, everyone had their moments to shine, and everyone did shine in those moments, but it is the end of that series. FB getting that MVP. We have the playoff bracket here. We finished in the lower bracket for tonight. We have had 2 game 7s, and we still have one more series to go, which is gonna be Fenrir versus Devotion in that upper bracket. And whoever loses that one is gonna have to face Umagis. Whoever wins will go on to start in the upper bracket come Sunday. But before we can get into the next series, we're just gonna have a very quick break here while we get things set up. So we will be right back with you.
This is trophi.ai, an AI Rocket League coach, and it's absolutely crazy what you can do with this. If you've ever heard of ballchasing.com, it's a lot like that, but on steroids.
You can press P and a pro demo will come up, and this is what's so cool and so unique about Trophi, is that this is not seen anywhere else, and it's just a great way to kind of show you how to do a training pack without having to side by side watch a YouTube video.
And this is actually really cool. Training paths. So you basically, you know the skill trees from Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man, Sekiro, you know that sort of games where you have to, you get skill points, use them, you unlock new skills. This is sort of very similar, but instead of actually getting skill points, you're actually doing the mechs. And also a cool feature as well, guys, watch this. You can slow it down. You can actually slow-mo it like this. So if you're really struggling, what you need to do, you can actually look for yourself and just have a look at them exact sort of movements that you're doing there. Look, it's really cool. I really like it. And
alongside helping with mechanics, it also has a feature that analyzes any of your saved replays. That way you can see what you're doing well and what you need to improve on. It even has this cool post-game analysis so that you can see stats from the game you just played.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Welcome back, everyone, to our prospects play-ins. We've had an absolute banger of a night, and I'm sure that that will not change one bit heading into this series. 2 Game 7 so far. Let's see if we get a third. Regardless, I think it'll be an amazing series. Once again, I'm Char, and alongside me is Veiled.
Yep. Sorry for the delay. You know, who would have thought you turn the play-ins into best of 7s and all of a sudden you have 14 games being played before you even get to the upper bracket match. You know, it happens. It happens. But we're ready to get straight into this. I don't even think we have team stats because there's something going on behind the scenes. And it looks like the last team is joining up. So we can almost get into it. But Char, before we get into the series, what is your prediction for this match?
Well, I've just seen that I think Crow or Mistaken are playing with sub, but Nathan G is a very solid sub. Or he might be an academy. No, he's not an academy player. He's a prospect player. Ignore me. But yeah, it's going to be a close matchup. Chrome, obviously, they've had a little bit of a fall off in recent times, but they're still a very, very solid roster. I'm going to give it 4-2 in favor of Fenrir.
Okay. I'm gonna go 4-1 Fenrir because I've seen Stones and Aussie play before. I don't know just what they're capable of. If they are hitting the ground running in this series, I don't think it's gonna be a competition. But we're gonna let the players do the talking. We have everyone ready. Let's just get going in this game. We're just gonna stall for 1 second while the hype chamber gets loaded up, so our production doesn't go to waste.
Yeah. We're getting into this one now, starting off this series. We're here in the upper bracket of the prospect playoffs for the first time in the week. And this will be the last match of the evening. Let's hope it's an amazing one. I'm sure it will be with these players on the pitch. Stones and Aussie won RSC together in the prospect tier previously before. Nathan won Academy as well not too long ago. It's a pitch of absolute superstars, and it's starting off with a bang with Stones scoring the opening goal.
Yeah, and it's off a pass from Aussie. I was mentioning these players just a moment ago, and I think this is just an example of what they can do. On the other side though, we do have Vapits and Goose. Of course also Nathan, but Vapits and Goose have been doing very well this season as well. Maybe they can be the duo that they need to match Fenrir. It's gonna be a bit of a struggle with Nathan coming in as a sub. He's gonna have to step up if he's gonna fill the shoes that are there in the team in the first place. But it's looking dire in the beginning here. A lot of pressure coming in from Fenrir. Morrow looking to keep the pressure in, but it's Nathan to beat him on the 50. Looking to get a 50 onto Aussie as well. Goose onto the backboard. Vapits there for the cleanup, but it's taken away before he can get to it. Aussie now putting up the pressure. Going into the corner here. Morrow has a free opportunity to take a shot. Goes for the backboard instead, and Goose to deal with it.
Take this one forward, gets a pop. Stones, not a lot of boost, able to hit it out to the side though. Goose now hits that one high. Aussie right across. Nathan's on it though, off the sidewall into the middle. Mauro able to clear that one away. We've talked a lot about Stones and Aussie so far for this Fenrir roster, but you cannot sleep on Mauro, a player that has been doing it for so long. Last season on Death Cloud Thunder, I believe, did very, very well. Came out as the first seed from one of the conferences, can't exactly remember which. Didn't have the playoffs that he would have liked, but he's still such a good player. And when he's getting passes like that from Aussie, it just proves that.
Yeah, and it's Morrow to clean up this time, but it's Aussie that has put himself into that playmaker role that I've seen him do many times before. He's just a player that knows that it doesn't have to be him that scores the goal for him to be a great player. And yeah, this just goes to show. Stones launching this one upfield. It might just be a goal. Goose looking very awkward, but deals with it. In the corner, looking awkward now. Loses the 50. Vapits has to do well off the backboard. Lays it off to Goose, who tries to find Nathan in the front here. It's off the backboard, but it's not the bounce that they would have liked. Stones with the clear. Aussie gets a touch. Now Morrow to follow up. Gets beaten by Nathan. Vapits could turn on this one. Opts to not do it instead. Aussie with the demo. Bumps Stones out of the way to completely open the goal up for Goose here.
Yeah, that's just a poor mistake there from Fenrir. Stones and Aussie just getting in each other's way, but knowing these two, I'm sure they'll be able to have a good laugh about it in the VC and shake it off and get right back into this one. But that's Devotion's first goal here. They'll be looking to use that momentum, keep pushing for a second one. Mauro gets the beat on that one. Vapid's up for it though, manages to win that race. Goose now into the middle, no one there. Another double commit from Stones and Mauro this time. Aussie looking for the air dribble. Goose manages to get a touch high, makes Mauro a little bit awkward as well. Can't get it past Nathan. Stones doesn't want to turn on that one, does it a bit late, and Goose able to get it past him. Vapids double into the backboard. Mauro's a bit awkward, can't get the touch on that one, but no one from Devotion is ready to take advantage.
Yeah, into the corner here from Vapids. Morrow keeping it there. Aussie now being very awkward, does well to keep control over this, puts it on target, makes Nathan so awkward. And now look at the orange in this corner. The ball just needs to go to the middle and it might just be a goal, but not quite. Morrow couldn't find the target, but that was some serious, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what to say, but whatever Fenrir just did to get all the orange players in the same corner there was just impressive.
Yeah, Fenrir, they're trying to put that pressure on. They want a third goal here. They want an extra level of security in this lead, because at 2-1 it's still worrying. Devotion are a team that is capable of making those plays to turn defense into attack in an instant. That's a nice dunk from Stones though. That's a bit awkward for Vapids. Does well. Mauro able to keep that pressure on and cut it out. Aussie now off the sidewall, off the ceiling, looking for the ceiling shot, but Vapids able to save it out. Aussie, we know he has the mechanics. I remember casting him in the Prospect Grand Finals in RC16, I believe, and he was doing all sorts of mechanics things, and I think there might have been a little bit of an open net miss there that I kind of completely glossed over. But Devotion, they do not have a lot of time left here, Veiled.
Oh, and taking into consideration the first goal was a bit of a freebie, courtesy of Aussie bumping Stones out of the way. Um, yeah, I haven't seen much from Devotion in this game. They really needed to seal the deal on that open net. If you can't take the opportunity on the free ones, how are you gonna be expecting to find yourself winning a game? They really need to solve that equation, and they need to do it before this series starts to run away from them. Vapits has a chance to do just that and opens things up in the end of regulation of game 1 to potentially send us into an overtime if no funny business happens in these last 4 seconds.
A lovely double tap there from Vapids. Just getting that bang off the sidewall, following it up, not a lot of boost. Now Nathan on 0 seconds, cut out by Stones. Aussie will try and take this forward, keeps it up actually. I'm sure Vapids will just let that one drop. He will, and once again Stones, or you're not Stones, you're Veiled. Once again Veiled, we have another overtime.
I don't know how you confuse me with Stones, but you know
I
what?
don't
I'll
know
take that
either.
as a compliment, you know? But Ozzy and Nathan here on the 50. Stones cannot quite get the touch. Bump is being attempted by Goose. Vapits carrying this one forward. Lays it off to Nathan. It's Ozzy to make the stop. Stones now, low boost, looking for that 50. Gets it, but it's gonna be awkward. It's Vapits to keep it at the backboard, but it's Stones once again to get the clear. This is a poor 50 though. Ozzy has to do well. He reads that the defender is missing it, goes for the sidewall read, gets a nice touch, but it's dealt with by Vapits. Morrow lunging in here, double commit on the side of Devotion, but they don't get punished for it. Now Morrow has to make the save and does so, but it's centered again. Now Stones having to clear it, cannot do it. Morrow does so for him, cannot quite get the 50 though, but it's Vapits to give the ball to Aussie, taking it towards the right turn side, but the flip reset not really doing him any favors this time.
Yeah, and that's a chance for Goose to seal this overtime. Just with the bang, no one from Fenrir. Stones with the miss off the backboard. And Goose manages to take it for Devotion here. And I'm honestly a bit surprised, Veiled. When we saw Fenrir go 2-0 up, they looked completely in control. But it's been flipped on its head.
Yeah, what I've seen, and this is just my take. I might just be completely wrong. You never know when I open my mouth, but it looked to me that Fenrir started to play around a little bit with their food in the middle of this game. I'm not saying it wasn't deserved from Devotion. That was a great comeback, and they made it happen when it mattered in the end. But it looked like Fenrir was just not doing anything with the ball really towards the end of that game. There was no real chances for them. They were creating a little bit of pressure, but it was nothing scary if you're Devotion. And I think they need to get out of that. If that's what they were doing, they need to get out of that mentality because they might be playing with a sub on the side of Devotion, but they have some very capable players. So you need to be taking this serious.
Yeah, 100%. Heading into this game 2, Devotion, they're 1-0 up. They want to extend this lead. They want to send us all to bed a little bit earlier, but they have 3 games to win against Fenrir first, which is a very scary sentence to say to any team in the RSC. So we'll see how this unfolds as we get underway here for game number 2. Can Devotion keep this up, extend their lead, or will Fenrir come back into this series?
Yeah, it's Morrow to test the waters first. Aussie to keep in the pressure, but it's gonna be Nathan now. Lays it off to Goosey. Needed that clearance as the boost was running low. Aussie with the shot. It's off the post. Goose taking the 50 here. It's a bit of a overcommit from him, but buys his team a bit of time. Nathan low boost, has Vapits to bail him out, but it's gonna be put in front of goal immediately after. Vapits lunging in, spends a lot of boost to get this one away, and in the process there was even a double commit from a teammate from behind the ball. Stones putting the pressure up here. Great clear from Vapits. Nathan can hunt this one down, but it's Aussie with control now. Gets it past one. Goose cannot do anything either. Aussie is really getting into the head of them right here on the backboard. Stones just needs to put it on target, but can't quite do it. Vapids with a flick up. Aussie, not a lot of boost, so cannot take control, but can't get a touch. It's Goose to lay it off to Nathan, but it gets stopped by Moro before he can get to it. And now who's gonna take it out of defense from the side of Fenrir? They're looking very awkward, and it's a bit of an overcommit, but they get away with it for now. It's a great touch here from Nathan. Gets bumped away though. Vapids to keep it in play, off the corner, into the ceiling. Is there a follow-up? No. It's Moro to clear it away.
Aussie trying to take this one forward. Looking for a 50. That's into the middle. Vapids will be able to get that one. Maro, a bit of an awkward touch. Maybe could have left that one to fall through to Stones. Stones ends up picking it up in the end. Now Aussie off the backboard. Maybe a double, but no contact coming out. Maro pops this one up. Vapids up already for it though. Not the touch that he would have wanted. Stones gives this one straight to Goose. Now Maro needs a touch, doesn't find it. That's a shot, but Stones comes in the back to save it and keep this at a 0-0 scoreline here. Now Mauro trying to take this one away. Fenrir though, again, they're all so tightly bunched together on defense with not a lot of boost. It just looks so awkward for them. Vapids doesn't make contact. That one might just roll its way in. The post coming to Fenrir's rescue. How many more times will they be let off? Now a chance down the other end, but Vapids will clear it away.
Yep, Aussie looking for the 50 there. Cannot quite get it. Stones with the clearance. Who's running low on the side of Fenrir? They need to find some. Moro is the one to find a little bit of boost here. Doesn't do too much on the ball though, but keeps it in the corner. Goose tries to center it for a teammate. That's a great dunk by Vapids. I did not see that coming. But what a dunk from Vapids to find that goal. Because I did not think there was any world where they were going to go away with a goal after that play.
Yeah, Vapids has been playing so well in this series so far. A player that has always kind of been in and around the conversations in the prospects here, but at least as long as I've been here, never really had that breakout season or that top season that a lot of people would have expected from him. Maybe he can make that this one on this Mistaken Devotion roster. And it is Vapids once again with another goal to add to his tally.
Yeah, Devotion really upped the pressure in this second game. Maybe I was wrong for saying that Fenrir was kind of toying with their food in the first game, because they have not really created anything since that statement. Not at all. Not even close to anything. They have one shot on target in this whole game. 2 devotions, 8. And well, statistics don't win games. As you see, Stones get one back here. But statistics are definitely on devotion side right now.
Just down to nothing really. That's the first good look at net they've had all game. Just an open net for Stones. Bar down, manages to get it and put Chrome Fenrir back within 1 here. Vapids doesn't make contact on that one. This could be dangerous. Aussie with the touch forward. Goose manages to make the save though. Can't get a second touch. Nathan now. That's not what you want to be doing. Giving possession to Aussie. A demo makes his threat neutralized, but he's coming in again. Can he win that race? Puts it to the backboard, but a little bit too high for him. He'll fake it out though. Stones with the shot. Vapids, nice first touch, nice second as well to take it all the way down. Gets the demo. Nathan can't get it past Aussie. Gusto will get a 50. That's in the corner. This is awkward. That's a lovely touch from Aussie, and Stones will put it away.
Yeah, and Aussie that has been pretty quiet in this game until this point actually. I think he had around 100 points before this play developed. Now up to 184 after that assist, and it's a great one at that. On the opposition side, we have Nathan struggling a little bit, but it's Vapids and Goose doing as much as they can for him. But he has been playing a great individual game from what I've seen as well, as this one is Vapids to find the back of the net, and that's all for passive Nathan, who I was just not necessarily critiquing, but was giving him a little bit of a rough time. But he makes sure that I don't hear the end of it immediately.
Yeah, Vapids hat-trick hero here in game number 2. Fenrir, they're back behind They need a goal once again. Stones cannot capitalize on that pass. Both of Fenrir going for the same corner boost there of Devotion, but they don't get punished for it quite yet. Aussie now redirect off the backboard. Stones up for it, but that's a nice cutout from the Devotion defender. Aussie still on this ball. Someone with incredible mechanical ability for this prospect here, but he hasn't really been able to showcase it all that much so far in this series. Devotion have done a really good job at shutting him down and not letting him do what we know he can do on the ball, making it so difficult for Fenrir to get anything going. This could be a chance right at the death. Stones just didn't want to commit for that one, and now he has the tough task of getting it to the other side without it hitting the ground. He won't be able to do so. Devotion 2-0 lead over Chrome Fenrir.
Yeah, I just want to go back to when you said Devotion have been doing a really great job at keeping Aussie to a minimal. I will say they've done a great job. As you can see, he's not really doing much. But I will also say every single time I see him have an opportunity to do anything with the ball, he seems to be overcomplicating it for himself. And that's
Yeah.
maybe why I was saying that they were maybe toying a bit with the food. But that is also something that I've just come to expect from Aussie, and I kind of forgot that going into this series. He does seem to just make it a bit too complicated for himself at
Yeah.
time. And I think if he just makes it easier for himself, he could be so much more impactful.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. There's sometimes he goes for one or two extra touches or a flip reset that really isn't necessary and ends up putting Fenrir in a difficult position with him committed and not able to get that touch. And then Stones and Marrow kind of have to clean up the slack a little bit after those misplays. But when it comes off, it looks really cool. And it is often very hard to defend against, and we know he can do it. So I think it is a mix, like you say, of he needs to stop overcomplicating things as much, but also still go for those plays, because we all know he has the ability.
We do, and we're just waiting to get to see it. But it's not gonna come for free. They do have a team called Devotion in front of them. Sure, they're playing with a sub, but they are still making great work in the offensive side of things here. Sure, they have had a couple of struggles defensively, but when you have Bappets playing like this, it's gonna be a very difficult game for the side of Fenrir.
Yeah, Vapid, so good. 3 goals in the last game. Already 1 in this game. That one will be credited to Goose, but I think we can put that down to Aussie and a bit of an own goal veil.
Let's not give him too tough of a time. We've already been after him saying he overcomplicates things. You know, it is a very rough though now. 13 seconds played, already 2 goals down on the side of Fenrir. They need to make something happen. They need to change something up, and it needs to happen right now. Because this is not... I'm gonna leave Moro out of this conversation just for now. Not because he's not part of the team, but the core we saw on Team Serene, I believe 2 or 3 seasons ago, when it was Stones and Aussie, they are not looking anything like they were doing back then. They are looking very disjointed. They are not really creating any dangerous opportunities really since that first game. And yeah, even Nathan having a field day right here, just flicking it to the top corner. Something needs to happen from the side of Fenrir to get back into the series.
You say that, and I'm not quite sure what it is. They just look so awkward, so disjointed. Like you say, Stones and Aussie, a tier-winning duo a few seasons ago, but right now they look far from that in this series. That's another miss coming out, and another goal here for Devotion. Less than a minute played, they're already 4 goals down, and it is all alarm bells ringing for Fenrir.
Yeah, maybe the alarm bell should have been ringing a little bit before, because from my understanding, they're facing triple match point if they lose this game, which...
Yeah.
Oh, actually quadruple match point, my bad, it's not best of 5. Which... Oh wait, it is triple match point. Is it? No, it is quadruple. It is quadruple because... Yes, because they would have to win 3 games And
Yeah.
then after that third game, they would still lose the series if they lose just about that one game. Yeah.
Yes.
So quadruple match point, which is basically a death sentence. It basically never happens. I think maybe it has happened a couple times in our playoffs, but basically never. As Vapids just gets a little bit of a triple tap there.
Yeah, he didn't really need the third touch, but he wanted it anyway, and fair enough to the lad. But yeah, this is really worrying from Fenrir, not just for this series, but also for the playoffs, because a reminder to anyone who doesn't know the format, they do still make it to Championship Sunday, even if they go down to Devotion in this series. They will just head into the playoffs without that second life through the lower bracket, which they really don't want to be doing, because that second life is so impactful in that playoff. Just having that security, even if you lose a series, you can come back and you can still win it, right? Because we saw a lot of times last season the bracket reset happened. A lot of times the team that was doing the bracket reset coming from the lower bracket winning it. I think it happened, to my memory, 3 times last season, maybe more, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, so it's still doable from the lower bracket, but it is a lot tougher.
Yeah. And well, it was Stones and Aussie. And they didn't only win the bracket reset and the series before that. They did both of them in Game 7. Maybe they're just, warming up to go into Game 7 in the first series of the playoffs. Who knows? But it's going to be Aussie looking for Stones here. 2 minutes on the clock. It's still technically doable if you're on the side of Fenrir here. Very tough indeed, but still technically doable. That weak touch from Aussie is not going to make things easy. Gets away with it this time. Looking for the 50. It's going to have to be Stones off the backboard here. Has looked like he has struggled a little bit in that position. And he will struggle this time as well. It's going to be Vapids finding another goal. And the aggression is really coming out from Devotion.
Yeah, Stone's just not comfortable there. Vapids, back-to-back hat tricks here in game 2 and game number 3. Amazing performance from him, but Fenrir, they just look so awkward at the moment. They don't look like the team that started the season in that first place. And to be fair, they're not. They were forced into a roster change, losing Sensa, bringing in Stones, the GM, who is a very good player. And Aussie, he gets one back. They'd need an absolute miracle to come back from this field.
Yeah, but that is basically a miracle what just happened. Not often do you see a goal scored where it gets centered that close to the goal. And it's just pure devotion from Aussie to go on the chance there. And, well, if I'm looking for any silver lining, it is a great thing to see that you see someone basically go for a Hail Mary and it works out. That shot looked like it should have been in. That was a beautiful strike by Aussie, but it's kept out by, I believe, Goose in this moment. Aussie
Oh no.
then goes on to whiff an open net, which is a bit worrying, but series is still not over yet. Devotion has been a little bit more quiet towards the end of this game. Maybe it's because they just want to run down the timer, or maybe it's a bit of complacency striking, which is a very, very dangerous tool to have against you in these series.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we can with all certainty say that Fenrir will be going down 3-0 in this series come the end of this game, and they will require a reverse sweep against this Devotion roster. But we've seen some reverse sweeps, best of 7 reverse sweeps in the RSC before. One that immediately jumps to my mind was in the last season's Academy playoffs. Mistaken Purpose played against Nexus Origin in the upper bracket semifinals, managed to get the reverse sweep, and then went on to win the tier. So it's definitely doable, but the 7th going in there for this Devotion team. And Veiled, we have something to celebrate here. We've made it to Brazil.
We have. They didn't make it that far in the World Cup though, courtesy of one Norwegian Viking.
Yeah.
We do like cheering on Aussie here. Gonna look to find another one. It is gonna be Stones. They do save themselves a bit of face. They're not going to end the result in this game in Brazil. And thank God for that. So I'm really reaching to try and find anything positive to say for Fenrir right now, to try and cheer them back up, or to even satisfy any of the fans watching, because this is a bit of a murder show right now. And I'm sorry to say it to any of you fans, it is a very rough journey you have ahead of you. If anyone is familiar with Counter-Strike, this would be like a phase type of magic you need to get back into this one, but I don't even know if Kerrigan could save you from the current situation. But it looks like they're just going to be trooping on. No timeout needed from the side of Fenrir. They're going to give it their all in this next game to try and get back on the board.
Yeah, and I think their mental isn't too bad right now because Aussie at 2 seconds left when he scored that goal did put in the chat for the Motendum, which I don't think it was just a typo. I think it was Aussie just having a little bit of fun. I think their momentum is their mental, sorry, it's not gone quite yet. Stones and Aussie, they were put in a lot of rough situations in that RSC 16 grand final. They went 3-1 down, at least in the second series, and might have been the first one as well, and managed to bring it back both times. So the mental needs to be strong here. It's their best of 7 reverse sweep. It does not happen a lot, but it is not impossible. And this Fenrir team are definitely capable of doing it if they get their act together. But we've been talking a lot, Veiled, about how Chrome have been struggling, but Mistaken Devotion have been making it so difficult for them.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the series, when I thought that Fenrir was really just, you know, taking the foot off the gas a little bit, I was wrong. And as I said, it is a capable team with very capable players. Goose and Vapids in particular have been two insanely well playing players the whole season. And there was a couple of people not really believing in Goose's abilities in tryouts from my memory, but I could see from the get-go he's a very capable player, and he is able to completely flip a series on its head on his own, completely take control, completely put his team in a position where they are just way more likely to win it. And Vapids is no one to sleep on as well. You've seen it several times in this series where he just takes the ball in a position where you don't really expect anything spectacular to happen, and he just somehow makes some magic happen. He somehow finds an angle, finds the gap that is there, the only way to score a goal in a certain moment, and he just does it. So, not to take anything away from Devotion at all by saying that Fenrir struggled, because the struggle has, in big reason, happened because Devotion has been playing so well in this series.
Yeah, 100%. Like you mentioned, Vapids and Killer Goose are both players that I was very interested in bringing onto my team this season before the caps changed and made that a little bit more difficult. But yeah, they're both so good players. Nathan as well obviously did that run with Aspire Academy in either RSC 15 or 16. I'm not entirely sure which, but he's a player that has been around for a while in the academy tier, now making that step up to prospect for, I believe, the first season, although he played in the prospect playoffs last season as a sub up for Nate. But yeah, it's his first season as an actual player in prospect, and he's doing very well in this series. But Fenrir, they managed to take the lead here in game number 4. Stones squeezes that one in off the crossbar, and it's going to take a massive effort, but that is what they have to do, just one goal at a time.
That's exactly how you have to take these kind of situations, because and as well, you just have to enjoy the moment. You might be down 3-0 in the series, but you just gotta forget about that. You just gotta enjoy the time you have with your teammates here. You just gotta get the vibes going, enjoy what you got going, because in the blink of an eye it could all be over, but Aussie playing like this could be just what they need to flip it up on its head. But I will say, it is a Fenrir team that is looking rejuvenated compared to what we've seen in previous games. We haven't seen them this composed in a long time, and it looks like they are going to get another one here. It's off of a pretty fast shot from Aussie. It didn't really look like he was going to have a goal here, but it's a bit of an overextension from Nathan to just open things up. And we talked a bit about complacency from Devotion. Do you think that's a factor here, or do you think it's just a completely rejuvenated Fenrir team we're seeing right now?
I think that goal, definitely a little bit of complacency from Devotion as Nathan once again the victim of a little bit of a defensive mistake, and suddenly Fenrir, they're back on it. They're 3-0 up here in game number 4, and they're getting closer to their first game win, their first of 4 consecutive needed. But that's all you can do. Take it one at a time, and that's what Fenrir are looking to do. 2 minutes left to play for Devotion to try and close this out in a sweep.
Yeah, Aussie now taking it to the backboard here. Goes for a Musty, keeps control of it as well, gets the 50. It's not the exact 50 he would have hoped, and that pass is looking really good, but Nathan cannot get on the end of it. But Goose keeping it in play here. Nathan gonna put it back to Vapets here, up to the sidewall now. Not the best position for him to be in, but then again, I've said that many times, and then it's turned into a goal. Goose almost doing just that off of the 50 here, but he's gonna have to back off now. Nathan, next man in line, puts it towards Goose, but it's Vapets to cut him off. Goose gets caught off guard by that, and that is just an open goal for Morrow to get a 4-goal lead. And this Fenrir team, I was gonna say it was a bit of complacency on some of the goals, but at the same time, this Fenrir team has been punishing every single mistake that's been happening from Devotion recently. And that is what you need when you're gonna be in this position where you're gonna be fighting tooth and nail to get back into the series.
Yeah, but this is just confusing me from Devotion. So many overcommits, so many overextends here in this game for something that we didn't see from them in those first few games. Vapids, once again the goal scorer, trying to spark a late comeback here for his team, but will it be too little too late here in this game number 4? They need 3 goals. They have 1:11 to do it. Let's see what they can conjure up.
Yeah, and I was just curious to, because I saw a chat message saying what happened this game, and I just opened my scoreboard and I see Morrow 2 goals, 1 assist, and 5 saves on his own. You know, that is a one-man unit completely keeping his team in this one. You know, you take away those 5 saves and turn them into goals, all of a sudden, Fenrir's 2 goals down. Of course, that's not how Rocket League works. Every player on the field counts, and a team is not working if it's not all 3 players doing their part. But just goes to show Morrow really stepped up this individual game. Aussie now playing the mind games, taking it to the sidewall. Can maybe get another touch. No, not quite. Morrow keeping it in play. Stones gonna have to back off here. Gonna have to take care of this, but cannot quite. 21 seconds on the clock. It's still up for grabs for Devotion, but Fenrir in the lead for now.
Yeah, 20 seconds. Can they get something off the kickoff? They need a good one. They need a goal fast, and then they need to do it again. That's a poor kickoff. Goose can't get the ball. That might just be an opportunity for Mauro to seal it. Put the nail in the coffin here in game number 4. Chrome Fenrir, they will be beginning their reverse sweep attempt. Let's see how much further they can go. They've looked like a rejuvenated team here. So much better, so much more like what I think both of us expected from them going into this series based on our predictions. This is more like it for Fenrir. Let's see if it can continue.
Yeah, and they close this game out, just not giving a chance, just completely running down the clock, and that's what I want to see. They need to be doing what it takes to win these games. That's what we didn't really see in the first couple of
884.
games. 884 points on Morris. It's
That's
crazy. He has more points than his 2 teammates combined. Absolute performance from the man. And yeah, that we need to keep seeing this if they are to get back into this series. I don't think Morrow can do it all on his own. We're gonna have to see some individuals step up from. I want to say Stones. We've been beating a bit on Aussie this series, but he has been putting in work on certain games, and we've seen Stones struggle a lot in defense
Yeah.
specifically, especially just handling the ball when it goes to the backboard, and he's the one to take care of it. It's not really been the prettiest moments if you're a Fenrir fan. You might every single time have been sitting with your palm on your head already. You might know what clock it is. But yeah, a lot of work ahead of Fenrir, but they know what they need to do. It's just about putting the pieces together now, and let's see if they can do it, or if Devotion can find the answer. If they can find what they need. They just need one more game on the board, and this series will be over.
Yeah, like you say, I think as much as I love Stones, as much as I think a lot of people love Stones, he will be the first to admit he has been playing kind of below par for his standards so far in this series. He needs to step up for his team in this moment. The GM of Chrome taking them to a franchise of the season win last season. Can he do something similar? Because they've had a very, very good season, and winning the trophy in Prospect would be a big help on his way to that. But they want to stay in the upper bracket here. That's a save coming out from Mauro. Goose can't quite slot it away. Mauro now into the middle. Stones with the side flip, just can't make the connection onto it. Aussie into the middle, no one's there. Goose able to take this one away, but Aussie cuts it out as well. Into the middle again, no one's there for Fenrir. Now Mauro manages to get a really nice 50. Vapids, no boost on the backboard, manages to get a touch. Stones now off the sidewall, 2 up here for Fenrir. Aussie going for the reset, and there you see a little flash of it again, just the overcomplicating from Aussie.
Yeah, it's kind of getting to him in this series. He's been able to get away with it against other teams in the past, but as I said, Goose, such a great player. Vapid's such a great player, and they're giving Nathan so much free room to work with. Nothing really looks like is expected from him, so anything he can do is a big bonus, and he has been doing well doing that so far in the series. But yeah, we need to see Aussie just unlock. We need to see him sacrifice a bit of his individual brilliance to just make the team work, because he has been the missing piece at times in offense. And if he can get unlocked, I think this is a completely different Fenrir team. Like I was saying about Cheese in the last series, but even more so with Aussie. There's so much more I can expect from him if he starts to play as good as I know that he can.
Yeah, 100%. He can be the best player in the tier on his day. That hasn't been the case so far in this series, but there's still plenty of time for him to do just that. Mauro, touch off to the side, that's an awkward one. That's a mid pass. Nathan trying to get onto it. Mauro manages to cut that out, make the save, but it's more devotion pressure. Stone's not a lot of boost, sends this one forward. Goose is there, puts it into the corner. Nathan trying to collect. Aussie manages to win that though. Mauro now with the shot, but that one is just off target. A chance goes begging there for Fenrir. Nathan now taking this off the wall, banging it into the middle. Vapids and Mauro both up. Mauro, no contact. Aussie a bit awkward to the backboard. Goose maybe drops it down. Nathan though, just not close enough to commit for that one, and wisely plays back, stays patient. Stones though, really nice air dribble over a few. Goose though, able to cut it out. Both of these teams locked together in a stalemate right now, but Mauro is the one to break it for Fenrir.
Yeah, and that's just what you need if you're Fenrir. After such a long stalemate, a lot of pressure been building for them, but also against them really in this game. Actually more pressure against them. Now that I look at the scoreboard, 3 shots is all Fenrir's had, 6 against them. And Mauro, been vital to the rejuvenation of this team so far. Almost let one sneak past at that point though, but not to be. Aussie now looking for a teammate, no one's there, but plays it patiently as Stones knocks it over. Aussie finding the redirect. Stones looking for the shot, cannot quite make the contact he would have liked. Mauro overcommitted. This is not what you want to see if you're Fenrir. The goal is completely open now, but great defense there from the side of Stones. Mauro now just looking to get it away, ease off the pressure a bit from Devotion. Nathan cannot make contact. A great dunk by Aussie. Is that just in? It might be. No, Vapids gets back in time, keeps them in this game in the dying moments. Looks like he might have an open net as well. lays it off to Nathan, but a great defensive performance there from Aussie to keep it out. Vapits taking a shot, and this time Morrow cannot keep it out. He cannot save Fenrir from taking in the goal at this very moment when they really needed to keep it out.
1 minute, one goal apiece here for both of these teams. Vapids once again for this Devotion roster. He is having an absolute blinder of a series. Nathan can't make contact on that one. Now Aussie counter chance, but Goose really, really well cut out. Should slow it down, give time for his teammates to come back, give time now for the counter attack. Nathan, not a lot of boost, trying to get it into the middle, but Mauro able to cut it out. Vapids though with the shots, and he does it again. Who else other than Vapids for Devotion to put them so close to this series win?
And a bit of miscommunication on the back line of Fenrir. I believe it was Morrow that got bumped into Stones off the 50, and then Aussie flying off his line. The last man back in defense, and he's not there to deal with the shot. It's a great shot from Vapits as well to just seal it. And now 20 seconds remaining between Fenrir going to the lower bracket and Devotion continuing on. Fenrir needing to find another miracle. They've already had a couple. This one already a miracle as well, but they need one offensively as well if they want to keep this series going. Nathan just biting a lot of time off that clock. Morrow lunging in just to keep the ball out of goal, but the clock hits 0. The ball hits the ground, and it's Devotion that will be in the upper bracket come Sunday.
Yeah, Devotion, they move on through that upper bracket. Fenrir drop down to lowers. The reverse sweep attempt was short-lived. Devotion able to close it out. And they played so well. Looking at these stats, Vap is dropping another amazing game. And if he's not series MVP, I might start a protest. But we'll see what happens there. But looking at our post-series stats, Devotion were much on top. They had almost 20 more shots, only 5 more goals, actually. But yeah, they were just the better team in that series, Veiled.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for Morrow, that goal count would be way higher. But yeah, way well played by Devotion, and that's with their sub. You know, if I'm an opponent that is waiting to play against this team, come Sunday, I'm gonna be a bit scared
Yeah.
because if they're playing main roster, it's all of a sudden a completely different team with the same two players that are very capable. And as you said, Vapid's series MVP, they had 17 goals. Well, he scored 11 of them. No assists to his name, but 7 saves. 11 goals out of 17 for his team is absolutely
Yeah.
crazy. That is almost 66% goal participation without a single assist to his name.
That's crazy. Well played from Vapids, though. Well played from the entire Devotion roster. Nathan as well, stepping up massively as a sub. Am intrigued to see if we will see JPEG back for playoffs, but that will have to wait until Sunday. If we just quickly take a look at our bracket before we close off here, we started off the night with Crusaders taking down Swift in a Game 7. Then we had another Game 7 with Umagis taking down Crusaders, and then we had Devotion 4-1 over Fenrir, which means we have some confirmed matchups for Championship Sunday. We will be seeing Keanu versus Devotion. Keanu, the team that some people are calling the Avengers of the prospect tier, and Umagis versus Fenrir down there in the lower bracket. Some great things to look forward to, Veiled.
Yeah, a lot of people hyping up that Keanu roster, but that is it for us tonight. You know, we do have a long weekend ahead of us, though, with a lot of Rocket League to be played. 3 more matches to be played tomorrow to really lock in what's gonna be there for playoffs for Prospect tomorrow. That is gonna be happening. Then we have Saturday, a lot of academy action there. We're gonna be crowning our first tier winners of the season in the academy tier, and then Sunday, that's when Prospect really kicks off. But that's it for us today. make sure to join us again tomorrow, where we have the remaining 3 prospect matchups in the play-ins. But yeah, I think we're gonna be heading off for the night here, right, Char? It's getting a bit late, and we need some rest before playoffs tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%. Just before we head off, a quick shout out to our sponsors, as always, Badass Studios, SpartanWare, and trophi.ai. And of course, if you are buying anything in the Rocket League item shop, make sure to use code rsc-eu to support the league. But yeah, that will be all for us from tonight. Make sure you come back for tomorrow as we decide the rest of the teams that will be joining this prospect playoffs. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we crown our first 2 champions of the RSC 18 season. It'll be an exciting few days of Rocket League. We hope to see you there.
This is trophi.ai, an AI Rocket League coach, and it's absolutely crazy what you can do with this. If you've ever heard of ballchasing.com, it's a lot like that, but on steroids.
You can press P and a pro demo will come up, and this is what's so cool and so unique about Trophi, is that this is not seen anywhere else, and it's just a great way to kind of show you how to do a training pack without having to side by side watch a YouTube video.
And this is actually really cool. Training paths. So you basically, you know the skill trees from Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man, Sekiro, you know that sort of games where you have to, you get skill points, use them, you unlock new skills. This is sort of very similar, but instead of actually getting skill points, you're actually doing the mechs. And also a cool feature as well, guys, watch this. You can slow it down. You can actually slow-mo it like this. So if you're really struggling, what you need to do, you can actually look for yourself and just have a look at the exact movements that you're doing there. Look, it's really cool. I really like it. And
alongside helping with mechanics, it also has a feature that analyzes any of your saved replays. That way you can see what you're doing well and what you need to improve on. It even has this cool post-game analysis that you can see stats from the game you just played.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.